So in the world of residential prehungs and residential style thresholds like the Pemko 95518, this happens to be a 15518D for dark bronze, and then W for a wood adjustable top. These are used when the frame is built at the prehanger. Whoever's supplying the doors and frames, they'll use this and they'll staple it down to the bottom through the jamb itself. Nothing mechanically fastens down here into the sill. Well, that's kind of a drag 20 years later when you need to replace the threshold. We're all likely in the same scenario. I've not yet needed to replace one, but I know that I will have to do so one day. And what the absolute consensus is, removing this is very difficult because they have stapled or nailed or screwed the backside of the jamb through that into the wood edge here. Now, I've thought about how I'm going to go about doing this, and I really don't think it's going to be the end of the world to remove, or it won't prove to be impossible to remove the old threshold and put in a new one. And here's a thought that I have on that. Let's switch to the screen view. Now here is the item that we're looking at. This is what the threshold looks like. If I was going to attempt to mechanically fasten that, I would probably work in this area here. What I mean is, I've got that wood structure underneath, okay? Then we've got that piece of cove that's there. We've got our adjustable top. We've got our aluminum piece, which comes down and hangs here, but then it just kind of elegantly finishes off here. Not so much like that, but blunt, finishes off. Okay, without getting too exotic, let's just leave it at that. So what I would do is work in this area, and specifically, I would take that piece of substrate and the aluminum extrusion as it comes over it. I would probably drill a hole inside of here, and then I would get a screw drill countersink, and I would drill a hole, meaning I would pre-drill a hole, and I would countersink it. After I drill the hole in my aluminum, what I would do is I would use a screw drill countersink, and they do indeed look like this. The issue is that you'll have to, or maybe you won't try to countersink it very much, but you'll have to drill a hole large enough so that you can get your screw inside of there, meaning through the aluminum. So here's what Irwin screw drill countersinks look like. So you might end up needing to figure out the diameter of your screw drill countersink, and then coming up with a plastic cap that might have a press fit sort of concept. And I'm really thinking about something like this is what I'm thinking about. Or something like this, where you can drill a hole and then finish off the installation with a press-in cap. And what I would most absolutely do is I would very liberally apply a silicone sealant inside of here when I put my cap in, and I would snap it in place. So I would ultimately have a hole, and my cap would kind of be like this, but it would be so low profile that I really don't think it would be a problem. Okay. Now, I do believe, and I've never tried it, that it might be possible to disassemble this threshold, even though I've been told it's not possible to do so. But I think the ability to solve this problem is really only limited by, quite frankly, imagination. It does occur to me that this is all mechanically assembled. This you should be able to drive out, meaning remove. This piece of lumber inside of here probably doesn't do much at all, except is fit inside of here. And then the adjustable top is what holds it together with this ledge here. So if you were to possibly remove this, okay, leave the quarter round attached to the base, get this screwed to the ground, bring in your aluminum and fit it over that, and then attach your bottom down to the floor. I think you can do it without even having to drill through the aluminum and just securing this portion here. I will at some point in the future make a follow-up video to determine whether or not that theory is accurate. Thank you very much.